Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me here again. Another day, another moment for us to practice gratitude for where it is we are, and we can be grateful for where it is we are emotionally, physically, in the space we're in right now, or even grateful for where we are on the internets in this moment. All of the layers. Eden, a pleasure having you here, beloved friend. Shannon, thank you. So grateful for you sharing the space with such beautiful friends today. So grateful for you sharing the space of yourself. All right, like we're gonna be moving soon, friends. Gonna be staying somewhere else for a while. So this is a moment that we should be really drinking up today. Really, really double drinking it up. Yes, give me all of the information. And technically, I'm looking at the house today just to make extra sure you friends get to see mountain range, some spickly spickles, and then, of course, the tri tree in a perspective that I don't think we usually see it in. I'm so grateful to be sharing with you friends today. How are you? Very good. Got some work done in the morning and just in time to join. Oh, goodness. Thank you so much, Guyana. It's a pleasure having you here always. How are you doing? Have you been better at dealing with the demons? The demons we all face? If so, what did you start doing? Maybe you can teach us something, please. Thanks. I'm fantabulous. Fantastic to hear that, Eden. What a pleasure. Ciao, Eva. Hope you're doing good. Looks like you've gone invisible. Hmm. I'm not exactly sure what that means, Ciao. Hope you're doing good. Looks like you've gone invisible. Chris, well, what is that supposed to mean? What? Now I'm tripping out, Criswell. He's telling me it looks like I've gone invisible. Can you see me right now, Chris? Please, please confirm. Confirm quickly. Can you see me? Love to you, Fred. Thank you for joining me. I can see you. I can see you. I want some of those pants, right, Guyana? Aren't they fantabulous as well? I tie dyed them myself. I feel this one turned out maybe a little bit better than my other one, but still, I'm happy with it. Giving these pants a little bit more new life after they've gone a little bit faded over the time of all of the washes. As you are, Chris. Well, thank you so much for the day. How are you doing? What do you have to be grateful for right now in the space you're in? That is what I'm really trying to think about today. Like this, the farm, being able to share the farm with you friends, is something that is so beautiful about this space that we've created together. Oh goodness, I was just noticing the LEDs reflecting in the water and the turbulence of the water bending the light. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share this space with you, friends. It's gonna be an adjustment moving away from here again and kind of like being in a closed off space, not having the amount of freedom or space to move in. And yet, all of the space is right here. So I look forward to growing with you friends again. Chris, well, hope you're well. Thank you. Shannon for sending love. What are your thoughts on Julius Malema? I haven't heard about him in a while, friend. He seems to be a character, playing his role as uncomfortable as that role may be, I guess. Hi to you. Shout out to the YouTubers. Thank you, Kayana. You have friends sending you love from the Reddit and Reddit friends. You're probably having love sent to you from the YouTubes as well. Thank you for joining me. It's such a pleasure having you here. Acceptable soft. Look who's back, conclusion based. Here we are, once again. 519 days. Whew, that's a lot of days, dude. That's a lot of days. And yet, it's no different than where we've been this whole time, right? Like, even though it's been a lot of days, over those days, the only place we were was here. Almost down to the minute, technically. Technically, yeah, I think so. Like, legitimately, like every single day over the last 519 days, around this time, we were in this space together. And if that isn't something I can be grateful for, goodness. Whoo! I've been exposing myself to a lot of information, and all of it is self improvement based, I guess. And it's so interesting to me to just watch or listen, to advice in a way that I can try and not only apply it, but see how I've been trying to apply it. Like how my mind has come to the same conclusions that they're kind of sharing, and just kind of noticing those patterns of conclusion making. What conclusions have you come to, friend? Can you teach me something? In fact, please, please teach me something. Teach me more because I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to learn, as much as I can. But I feel sometimes we get so caught up in trying to change things that we never really consider using them in a way that can benefit us, you know? And it's this weird paradox that we face sometimes of being in this world of capitalism while at the same time not wanting capitalism to continue in the way that it is right now. Which side of the infinity do you identify with? And then realizing instead of ripping yourself apart of the dualities, realize that you are the balance. You are the one smack dab in the middle that knows about. Oh, the instability. Shavai, what a pleasure. I was feeling your presence and looked up your stream, and here you are, live. Thank you. What a pleasure. What a pleasure, Chauvin, seeing you live. Because now I know, in this moment, Chauvin is in this space with me. I did load this bong of mine. I have a bridge to soul, to higher self here up top. Then I have a tree of life, kind of like carved into it. And then, of course, the infinity, the yin and yang, a bunch of the sacred of symbols. Whew. And today, since I'm leaving this space very soon, I'm gonna smoke this bowl with gratitude. Technically, not technically, 100% illegally. This weed was grown like on this farm as well. So not only am I smoking this weed with the intention of honoring the farm and this space that we're in, but the very thing that it is I'm smoking is from this space. This bong, technically the actual bamboo was harvested a few miles that way. So not exactly the bamboo didn't grow here as well, but this wood little bowl was made of cannabis wood, which was grown here. These little rocks are made of, the rocks we have laying around. Not made here, but definitely originated here. And then the bong itself was made. Like you can see there's like greenery on it as well. It's like beeswax that we use to make sure that it's sealed. So there's so much, mental energy that has been put into this bong already. And then we add to it. We add to it in a place of gratitude and a place of acceptance that we are here now. Wherever it is you are in this moment, you are here now. Look around you. Realize you can breathe. Be grateful as much as we can, because a lot of people would trade with us to be in this moment instead of the one they are. So if we can't help them directly right now, at least we can be in gratitude of where we are right now. So gratitude to you, friends. Grateful for you, friends. Thank you so much. That will do it. That'll definitely do it. Marijuana has been schmonked. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. Hmm. You know, I genuinely feel like there is a little bit of an end of the era thing happening right now. Like we went through a whole era of Arpan in the way that it was, in the way that it has been. And now we're moving into a new stage. And I got to listen. As I mentioned, I was exposing myself to some information today. And one of the things that came to me was just this message, this understanding of a responsible housekeeper, a responsible sower, someone who plants seeds. And the person that plants the seeds, knows that there are odds, knows that there are ratios at play, and sows the seed over the entire land, and there are patches where it's rocky and the soil is shallow, so the things don't really take. There are birds that will eat some of the seeds, which he doesn't give energy trying to chase away because he'll just chase them into infinity. And there are areas where like there are weeds that absolutely choke the death out of the seeds that you're planting. But the fact that he continues to plant seeds, he continues sowing those seeds day in, day out, continues showing up for himself and for, his garden. Eventually there is an end goal to that. And to realize that every single one of us have that garden inside of our minds. That we get to plant seeds of hope for our future. We get to plant seeds of, anticipation for what may come. We get to make friends. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. We just get so caught up in tending to the plants that we have already sown the seeds for, instead of harvesting. Moving on. It's okay to come back. My brother is making sure he doesn't drive over our puppies. My brother is driving with my mom sitting in the front seat and my dad sitting in the back seat. It's a little bit of a trip. Grateful for you, beauty. Hey, Untitled. Thank you for joining us as well, friend. Hello to uni friends. Grateful you are here. Oh, Siobhan, these people, be careful. Don't you dare be sad or, like feel down because they'll absolutely swarm you and love you to death. They'll melt you into a little goo ball. Watched a crazy cool Ram Dass video last night and then learned a bunch about dopamine this morning. Getting blasted with knowledge and tools to allow me to influence my reality. Thankful. I'm thankful for you for doing that, Isaac. I've been doing the same, friend. And all of the information we hear, right? Like there is a certain sense of feeling and truth to it. But, and it's something that I also kind of like had, showed to me again today. It's great to kind of give ourselves this information, but it's even better to use it, to actively use it. These things that you learned about dopamine, to apply some of them, to breathe into the message that Ram Dass might have teach you. Hello, my sister. Excuse?
Wanneer heb je Christian?
Didn't een beetje later. Hij komt eerst later uit die werk uit, actually. Hoe was jouw dag geweest?
Lekker dan vrienden.
Yo, rustig. Dankie. Heel rustig.
Hoe is je opjatten?
My sister. Look back. Look who's... Thank you. Is your hair permed? Technically no, but if this look in your world means permed, then you could say technically yes. I didn't do it myself. It kind of happens this way, but yes. Infamous Sock, thank you for joining us. It's so nice having you here. Please do tell me the name of your boy so that I can love him directly. Like it's Infamous Sock's boy's birthday, and he kind of like posted on our Discord, not our Discord server, our Haywire Heel subreddit, that it's his son's birthday, and they don't have, a lot of immediate family, so would we be willing to reach out and tell his son a happy birthday? And there are just like already multiple messages, multiple comments, of people being like, happy birthday, little dude. So I was asking him if he would please give me the name so I can love him as an individually, share him some of that direct love. He is a grass Hashira. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. If you weren't on camera, but as I typed the message, you came back. Not my fault. Ciao, you're here now. Thank you for joining us for the bear. Trying lately to focus on something. To focus on absorbing. And then why can't I read right now? Trying lately to focus on absorbing and then focusing on my reality and how it can be actively incorporated. That's the beautiful, part of learning. Like we never stop learning. You can never stop becoming more of yourself, right? And you don't have to take any of these things as fact. Don't become a follower. Be a student, actively learning, right? Like if it's a following thing, and that's something I've been like struggling with myself. Like if it's just, oh, I follow this person and everything they say is truth, then instantly it falls apart, because the truth is you and your life, you and your experience, you and your immediate family members and loved ones. You are the one that has the truth, and all I'm doing is showing you, oh, look at this. What do you see? And then what you see is what you're supposed to see. without living in a constant state of ponder, for that breeds existential dread or feelings of disconnection from life, realizing that those teachings are just ways to appreciate your life instead of guide them. My mind is so obsessive with new concepts that I have to be extremely careful, or I can absolutely send my balance into a tailspin. Same, Isaac. It's not about bad, it's about balance. We just need balance, friends. And the more balance we allow ourselves by just paying attention to the things that do serve us, Ermias Plur, the better we get at it. The more you show up, the better you get at the thing you show up for. So just be like, what am I showing up for day in, day out? What do I believe in, day out? Do I want to continue believing in these things? Do I want to continue living out of a place of gratitude instead of in a place of gratitude? The demons are perpetual. I spend time with them. I don't make decisions around the demons within a day or even two. Spend time with them. Find out their nature, their origin. It's actually a demon, even time. Always time. Yes, Guyana. Like we all have those parts of ourselves. And as soon as you acknowledge that you are not only a human being, but you are also the infinite spectrum of humanity's existence before that, right? Like you have within your DNA all of humanity before you, coded into you, literally all of this information. People that have kids during a traumatic event have kids that have literal DNA expressions that code against these traumatic events, that code for them to be in a more alert state because there might be more traumatic events to come. And then to imagine all of the traumatic events we as humanity have been through as a collective throughout all of society, and to acknowledge that we are all of those things right now. We have all of those demons within inside of our DNA, literally our DNA. But that we can, and we know now, like with actual science, with actual like empirical data, that we can change our gene expression. Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what do you mean we can change our DNA expression? And I've like looked into this in so much depth, and still it boggles my mind when I hear it. Changing your gene expression with your mind and your actions. Take a cold shower, gene expression changes. Eat certain foods, gene expression changes. Expose yourself to certain environments, to flowers, to animals, your gene expression changes. Everything you do becomes encoded within you. You can code intentionally. You can do it by choice. We're sharing information. Exactly. We're sharing information to elicit a relation to our current experience. And these teachings only reiterate that you are the teacher themselves. The observation is the only task. That is it. It is interesting how scary these common concepts are for the ego. It gets uncomfortable. It gets uncomfortable to the point of running away over and over again. It can feel like you've been lied to or cheated out of an existence. Yeah, because that flow is always there. We just disguise it. We disguise it as God or accomplishment or hate or love or happiness, etc. The flow is always there. And try and fight or label said flow. It's to be laughed at by nature. We only need to find the source. That source is you. You in the middle of the infinity. That flow is the infinity, infinitizing, and you in the middle of it. All of the future in front of you, all of the past behind you, all of the infinite reality that is space in front of you, which you're only seeing limited parts of, and then all of the infinite reality of space behind you. Scale, atoms, or things getting progressively smaller and smaller, parts making up smaller parts, making up smaller parts, making up smaller parts, and then it going up into space as well. And not even to get like, this is just of the stuff we know. Not even to mention other dimensions of existence. Oh goodness. Let's not even start. And here we are. We're not robbed of any experience because experience is the experience we're here for. So even the experience of not experiencing the fullness of the experience that's available to you is an experience worth having within the fullness of experience that's available to you. It's all absurd, but it is serious. It is serious to the fact that you can make a difference with this experience. You can make the most of it. Like you're gonna have to do it. You have to. I mean, it's like that or stop breathing right now. Okay, no more. No more of this breathing stuff. No, and yet here you're choosing another breath. Keep choosing breaths, and by extension, choose your entire life. Choose the people you have life with. The world isn't complicated or sectioned into small things, making up big things. We decide to cut something, and then we point and say, "Look at the pieces." It only becomes sectioned when we cut it, and it's the same thing for our bodies, and like we know this now more and more with our science as well. Like your body is a complete unit. Like you do not want to lose one of your hands. Your entire everything you do changes as a result of that. The way you human has to completely adjust to not having a hand. You can still human, but you are a complete part of this universe, and every single part of you matters. You cannot just take care of certain parts of yourself and expect everything else to kind of fall in line with that. The world is as complex as we want. We understand a flower, but then we look deeper and cut said flower into pieces, not realizing we did that. Life is simple. We decide to complicate it. Yeah. We decide to complicate it by getting involved, right? And it's the same thing with nature, right? Like if you look at a flower just from the external perspective, looking at said flower, you can be like, that's beautiful. And then you could, if you had like some sort of hyper technology, shrink yourself and then get closer and closer to this flower to the point where you can literally see the structures that make up this flower, and in those structures certain wavelengths of light get caught, and you can be like, what am I looking at right now? Where am I right now? What is this experience? It's so complex and I do not understand any of it, but it's beautiful. But what the hell's going on? And it's just because you're so involved, you're so caught up in this experience where it is you are right now, that you cannot take a step back and just observe. Just look at what it is you're seeing. The active searching for problems to solve is the active overcomplicating of reality, not necessarily or unnaturally, but definitely unnecessarily. We will never stop advancing. No, we won't. No, we won't. And it's because of that drive as well, to ask questions. We ask questions. And unfortunately, the more questions we ask, the more complex the reasons become. Right? Why are there flowers? Oh, why aren't there flowers? Why? Wait a second. Fruit? Yes, okay, fruit. Thank you. For a second, I was like tripping out. I was like, oh my goodness. Why are there flowers? Flowers are there for fruits. They get pollinated. And then those fruits carry seeds, and then those seeds have the potential to repropagate things. You are the one that brings beauty out of that experience. It's something that's natural. Mm. But I think that's why we do it, Isaac. That's why we continue asking questions. Because we can find beauty in that. I heard this thing that was beautifully said today, is that human beings need two things. We need to eat or receive two things. We need to receive food and water, and we need, secondly, to receive words. One nourishes the body, the other nourishes the mind. Huh, Mama?
Nee?
Yes, if you lock people up in a little box without any words, they lose it. You can give them all the food they need, but they lose their minds because they need words. Are you enjoying the meal? Kan ik kom maar helpen, papa? Wil maar zitten samen met mij? Wil maar een bong samen met mij rook? Een bong.
Wat doen my skaar hier buite? I'm gonna...
I think dat is ek geweest, nie, mama? Ek is heerlijk zeker. Ek gebruik nie my skerm nie.
Wel, iemand gebruik hom, dis so skieletyd.
Yes.
Tou.
Daai tou, oh, dit is ek geweest. Dis heeltemal ek geweest, actually. Jammer, mama. Heeltemal ek, my skuld. Ek geweest, ek beloof. Jammer, mama. for a second denied any guilt, and then I realized I was 100% guilty. So I had to backtrack for a second there. Mm, okay. Sorry for the blast. Feeling very philosophical today. Going to listen a bit now. You were loved with the bear. I think I've maybe missed one of them. But when is the point that our advancement is futile? How deep do we go before we realize that we ourselves are creating the depth? We have not progressed anywhere, only killing time. Killing time or filling time, Isaac? Some people find extreme joy in solving problems. You know, you can argue that our brains, that is the one thing our brains were made to do. And now we have kind of like progressed our brains into this extension that is the internet. Instead of having to remember all of these bits of information, we have this internet that remembers these bits of information. And even though we had like this bank of memory, our indexing to remember these things weren't exactly that fantastic, and we had Google as a resource for that. So now we're building artificially intelligent machines and making these archives of humanity its memory. You know, and it's gonna be the next sentient layer of our humanity. So I don't think we're doing anything wrong, Isaac. We're not doing anything unnatural. Let me say it that way. You know, no matter how complex we get, no matter how techno humanity becomes, it's not going to be unnatural because we're using nature. We're using the laws of nature, you know, maybe quantum physics as well, like electrons flowing through circuits, ones and zeros, you know, like a on state or an off state. That is the way our universe works. You are that. You are that infinity right now. It's just where you are within that infinity. And that point never stops moving, Isaac. It never stops moving. So it's a whole trip. It's a whole trip. And thank you. Thank you for being philosophical with me as well. Jeez, Isaac came with an extra large sack of wisdom today. Thank you for sharing, my friend. Thank you for allowing me to share back with you, Isaac. You are always such a beautiful co creator. You're always so positive when I scroll through. I really appreciate that not enough people are. Jenna Grace, be that which you want to see in the world. I genuinely believe in that. I agree, I think it's perfectly natural, just unnecessary. If we're going to just survive but feel fulfilled as a community, we'd got to let go of the mission to accomplish mindset, maybe. I feel maybe not letting go of the mission to accomplish, but letting go of time frames. You know, letting go of an attachment to it be a certain way. Like have goals, have things that you want in life. I think it's extremely necessary to want to accomplish things in things in your life, but to want to accomplish things alongside telling yourself that I need to accomplish them in X amount of time, that is where real suffering lies. Not so much of the accomplishment in itself or the mission to accomplish things in itself. Because I mean, if I didn't have a mission to accomplish something, why would I be doing this, Isaac? You know, and then you can say this is something that is unnecessary, which yes, technically it is, and yet here I am doing it because it's my mission to accomplish something. Like collections of knowledge is so beautiful and fulfilling, but making sure we understand more for the cultural purposes of appreciation rather than conquering said things. I think we have already progressed past the point where our human minds can actually understand the full breadth of our reality that we've created. Maybe not letting go of the mission, but reiterating the reason. Love. I genuinely believe that's why we kind of do the things we do as well, Isaac. Is because we have a love for it. Like we have a certain love for creation. And the more tools we have, the more understanding we have, the more powerful we become, the better and the more close to our true core, our true essence as humanity, our creations become. So, and we do that out of love. Like, why create anything if you don't believe it can create? It can you can love doing it, one, or someone will love you having created it. Why do anything if not for those reasons? Like I can honestly not even think of a single one. I feel out of the loop because I've been so busy in good ways. I've missed you, sweet friends. Are you moving? Have you shared that with us yet? Multiple times, Eden. So many times, friend. Like, probably like 50 times over the last 2 months. It's been something I'm very excited about. What the heck is going on? Yeah, Eden. I'm going over to Christian's place again. How do you stay happy and so positive? Jenna Grace, I show up for love, friend. I genuinely know that it sounds cliche, but when it comes to eating food or exercising or drinking enough water or going to bed or talking to people or showing up and being positive, I do it for love on a very visceral and fundamental level of like, what else is going to be as beautiful as love can be in this moment? And then I do it. And then every single time I show up for love, there it is. You in this moment sharing love with me. So here it is. Here you are. Who needs tears? Thank you for joining us. Conclusion based with a I have come to the conclusion that we need to touch grass. I actually did touch grass for like a few minutes today. It was pretty nice. Thank you. Oh my dude, Rip it. Thank you, Coop Dog. It's nice to have you here. Eden with a laying on the couch with the baby snuggled under my arm, fast asleep and sitting in a grassy yard in South Africa. What a beautiful life. Trans dimensionalism. You living in multiple realities at the same time right now, friend. CC Live, thank you for joining us, Obvious Home, and sharing life with us. Eden, tell your brother to join your stream and say hello. Thank you for joining us, friend, for being in this moment with us. My brother is probably not gonna want to come into stream. For some reason, he doesn't want to. I guess I don't know why. I've encouraged him a few times too, but it's not his thing. He's a technomancer. I see in his future, multiple arms, kind of like robo arms attached to his back. Cybernetic. Like he's one of those types who did surgery on himself and was like, what? Not that kind of surgery. Just he cut a gap in his own finger's flesh, and then he implanted a little magnet into his finger, and then he sewed it back shut. Yes, I have a sibling like that because with that he can feel electric currents, and I'm like, but why would you do that? And that's what the type of person he is. So like I imagine him in the future being like an absolute cyber, human, like a complete cyborg. And I look forward to encouraging him and loving him nonetheless throughout that. But that is his trip, that is his role, that is his experience, that is the things he's preparing for in his day-to-day moments with the things he keeps up with in his day-to-day moments. Cheers! Another one for gratitude. I feel so grateful to be in this moment with you, friends. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you for joining me. Oh, okay. We're back. Did someone just make a niche souls Reddit joke? I will touch grass, friend. I will press X. Oh, it is okay. Of course, I had to transmit for you to get that joke, dude. But for me, it was like straight over my head. I agree, friend. All is perfect, for all is a form of expression. My formless. There we go, Isaac. There we go. So beautiful to see you saying that, friend. It's a mindset that we have the power through our mind, our thinking, our feeling to manifest whatever positivity we want. Direct your energy inwards and look at whatever darkness you have and work to understand it rather than live in it. Remember love. Thank you, Kayana. Goodness, that is the purest of pure that I could have ever asked for. Thank you for sharing that. Hello, obvious home. Stranger Dot saying, I feel like this could be my happy place. It is if you want it to be, friend. I show up every day. Same. I've only been able to jump in every now and then. I feel like I'm missing a lot of information. You are here now. You are here now, Kayana, and that's what's important, friend. Like I would encourage you to show up for a minute a day, just for a minute. Just to breathe, to know that this space exists, and that will be more than enough. But I feel this power in showing up for ourselves every day, for showing up for something every day that not much can top. And it doesn't have to be this; it can be anything in your life. Did someone, when you look at form, the perspective of the formless, how is it anything but perfect? You know what's the trippy thing that I've been thinking about as of late is dark matter. Like our current understanding of the universe needs to have 5 times more dark matter than it has actual matter for our math to work. The rotation of our galaxies do not check out with normal gravity and normal matter's mass at all. Like not even close. It's so far off. So there has to be something else at play. And to imagine 5 times more stuff, 5 times more stuff in your current environment than there is stuff in your current environment, right? And dark matter interpenetrates itself, so it doesn't mesh with itself, so it can just be like a molten experience of like energy, primordial energy, just like flowing. And then I genuinely believe, and this is a little bit of the woo-woo stuff, as you move matter, the dark matter moves with you. 5 times as much stuff. So if you weigh 100 kilograms, you're weighing or you're moving in my mind 500 kilograms worth of dark matter. And that's a lot of mass. That's some momentum that you can create, and that's just a way to kind of like understand the fractal I've been playing with. It's much more trippy than that for me, because it kind of like it's like almost like the magnetic fields you output and all of the different meridians you have, like power points in your body, have like little magnetic geodes, like little torus fields, and then those torus fields stir or create energy or create turbulence within the dark matter. It's a whole trip, so let's not get any deeper into that right now. I had a rough sleep that night. Wait a second. I think I missed a few. Dear Kayana, how could you miss any information? For it did not miss this info. If you would miss this info, you would bring new concepts. For that, I am appreciative. There we go. Didn't miss anything. You get to share with us now what you think, what you feel. Oof, I can't talk about dark matter. I had a mushroom fuel 3 a.m. convo with a friend a while ago about how the conscious space is dark matter, the space in which things are experienced. Yeah, it's a whole thing, Isaac. That's why I'm not gonna get into it right now. It's a cool one. It's trippy, but it's very cool. What is your accent? My accent is from South Africa, Morgan Zero. Thank you for asking. Sir Loris Tyrell, is that you? No, knockout pie. I can't say that it is, but I appreciate you seeing things. Is that weed you're smoking? Do you know the effects your dopamine? It does. It does. It can like increase your dopamine a little bit, but it can also, have the caveat of giving you lower dopamine in your normal day-to-day experiences. So if anything, do so responsibly. And you're like, do what responsibly? Yes. Yeah, everything. Drink water responsibly. Go to bed responsibly. Especially treat other people with responsibility. Like, not only are you responsible for how you're treating this person, but you and the way you treat this person can be responsible for all of existence. You being happy, being loving, being kind towards another person can inspire them to be happy, to be kind towards another person, can allow them to meet their ideal divine feminine, can allow them to have a child that cures cancer, or invents nanotechnology that can completely mesh with the human DNA and can create us into a different sentient life form. Look, oh, wait a second. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. You don't know, and that's the thing. We don't know anything. And the one thing that we can know is that love is the most powerful force in our universe. So by giving more power to the universe, giving more of the love that the universe needs to make positive changes, manifesting with reality, the reality that you want to manifest. It's a conscious loop. You cannot escape. You can only participate. But you can choose not to. And that's going to be you participating and not participating. So you might as well, right? I do believe you might as well. I believe those things to be eldritch truths, not meant for me. I prefer sanity, lost days. Yes, please. One sanity. Can I have one sanity, please? And it's like, why do you need a sanity, friend? I was like, I pressed the dark matter button. Ah, yeah, unfortunately, that one messes you up with like it's like I'm just gonna be like you're gonna take the sanity and then it's just gonna be like sucked into that space that you've created inside your mind. No, no sanity for you. Isn't it insane that the knowledge we have to alter our experience in modern ages? I mean, syphilis used to cause limbs to not love. No goodness, the treatment was injecting mercury. Dude, people had like their arms cut open and just bled into a bowl to let the demons out. They were like, oh, headaches? Let me just punch a hole in your skull. Excuse me? Excuse me, what? No drink enough water? No exercise, maybe? No, like asking me what my diet is like, what I've been doing to myself, how much sodium I'm getting in. How, no, holes in your skull. Yes. Oh goodness, dude, humanity, please. I mean, and then we complain. We're like, oh, the internet is ruining our lives. Yes, it can. You can allow it to. The same way that you can allow yourself to be ruined by religion. You can allow yourself to be ruined by, food. You can allow yourself to be ruined by a certain idealization of what life should be. As soon as you realize all of it is necessary, the infinite spectrum of humanity, you become the one in power to start changing it. You have always been in power to change it. Just about believing you can. Do you actually believe you can? Do you believe that you are capable? Do you believe that you can do things that the current version of yourself can't imagine? And if that answer is no, just like spend 5 seconds thinking back to all of the things that you're doing right now, which your younger self could not have imagined you'd be able to do. Invest in yourself, friend. Show up for yourself. You are more capable than I can even imagine. And the current imagination I have is like infinite darkness as a possibility or infinite light as a possibility. And right now in this moment, you can choose to make that shift. And that's the craziest thing about being human. It's not so much that we're having this experience, but that in a moment, in this moment, you can change everything. You can change who you are. You can change how you've lived. You can change how you communicate. You can change how you see the world. You can change what you believe. You can change, how you treat people and yourself, how you treat the earth around you. All of it can change right now. And as a result, everything changes. Everything. Your life, the way you see life, the way life sees you, right? And I have this weird intuition that life does see us. Even if it's just you seeing it as yourself, it's watching. And the more you love it, the more it loves you back. Oh goodness. It is a infinity loop that you want to get yourself melted into. Where are you? I'm in South Africa. Where are you? No, no, no. His name is Oliver. Oliver! Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Oliver! Staring into your soul, and I see too much to articulate, friend. Beauty. beyond imagination, fractals, ever broadening your experience of what is possible. Have an amazing birthday. Thank you, Infamous Sock, for allowing me to love you, Oliver, for bringing Oliver into this world. What the hell? Now Oliver is here in this moment with us, hearing words instead of not being here in this moment with us, hearing words. Super freaking awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Love you, Oliver. You rock, little dude. Green. I don't know what that is supposed to be. Knowledge is infinite, and I will only know but fractions. Small fractions of the infinity. But even fractions of infinity is still infinity, isn't it? Gabe Hardwarming, thank you, Strange Dot. Helio! Love to you, friends. Nice to have you here. We are grateful for you, Infamous Sock. Thank you to be for being kind to us as well. Not a language you hear every day. And I didn't know your friend was bilingual. My friend that I'm going to right now technically is almost trilingual. You know, he can speak a little bit of Afrikaans. He can speak enough Afrikaans to understand people that speak Afrikaans. And he can formulate basic sentences. He's proficient in English, you know, as well as I am. And he speaks Bulgarian as well. And technically a little bit of Russian. He's an absolute machine. But that was my sister that just talked. Namaste to you, team. Thank you for joining us again, friend. It's nice to have you here. Back to you. What more specifically, what more specifically do you live? Because I don't speak much English. I live specifically in South Africa, the little Nibbin country at the bottom, at the South Pole of South Africa. That is, of Africa, that is where we live, friend. It just reads, I just read The Study of Stress Continuing Through Generations. It's good stuff. It's crazy, right, Wary? And then you notice that. You notice parts of your behavior that you literally inherited from your parents. Not only on a behavioral level, but on a genetic level. Like you can literally notice these things, and we know now that we can change it. Generational trauma it is in Infamous Sock. You get no bitches for sure. No bitches. Ain't got no maidens. I don't, friend. I ain't got no maidens. Ah, I don't need no maidens. I am happy. I am secure being alone. And I can still be more happy, more secure being alone. So I will continue to grow into infinity. I will become so attractive in every single sense of the word that I will love myself. That I will actually love myself. You know, and I'm learning with you friends right now. You know, sure I'm saying the words, but I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm making sure I'm saying what I actually mean. Mm, what more specifically? I think you've already asked that one. Generational trauma. It's interesting. It is. Excessive cortisol will change your genes for sure. And it leads to certain diseases over time. Yeah, diabetes, schizophrenia, overweight. You know, like people get some bad stuff with generational trauma as long as it like we're moving into an age where we now have a more full grasp on this stuff and we're probably going to be able to test for it in 10 or so years. As I said, he gets no bitches. I mean, you're not wrong still, beginning chain. I'm here with you, friend. This is a nice chat and stream. Lighten up. Thank you for lightening me up right now in this moment. Keep that respect, friend. Thank you for the love. I'll drink to that. Thank you, Wary Pangolin. I appreciate you joining us. I'll drink with you. Words equal brain food. Yeah, think about it, right? Think about it. Like we eat a lot of words in a day. If it's not music, it might be memes, you know, and there's like words technically embedded in it and understanding. If it's not memes, it's videos. If it's not videos, it's movies. If it's not movies, it's, you know, a show. All of it has words, all of it has story, all of it has understanding encapsulated in it. And that's the stuff we feed our minds, right? Like you can only eat that much. You can only eat that much food, but and you can technically only eat that much words, but you still try to eat more words than you're capable of, you know, absorbing in a moment sometimes. Here we're here daily. Glad you stopped by. Thank you, Aunt B, for inviting our friend in. Hey, it's a gobbledygoo saying good morning, Melt. Peachy Peach. Joe Bizzle. Mus Booper Snooter and new friends. Gobbledygoo, thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice to have you. Loveliest of lovely friends. Current demon, resisting the urge to be sassy to the trolls. That is the demon I'm fighting as well right now. Okay, Anna. It's good that we're fighting it together. You know, I feel we're stronger for it. Sometimes I put two socks in a dryer and only one comes out. I mean, technically, there's a reason for that. Apparently, they blow up and then they get into the cracks and they fall down the sides of your dryer, and then they're collecting in the basin. Apparently, you know, that's what I've heard at least. If the words are the food, if words are the food, then conversation would be the meal. And we have to feed one another, right? Like you can't just sit there and be like, or just like force feed someone else like ceaselessly, like holding their head, like yeah, eat, dear. And be like, please, can I sit down and digest a little bit, and then you eat a little bit, like there's only one spoon, and it's attention, or it's the thing with which you like take scoops out of time, every word taking a little scoop out of time. Javan joining us on the YouTubes. Thank you for joining us. Barbers used to be in charge of bloodletting. No goodness. Just a few centuries ago, you'd be coming to Isaac for the bleeding. No, Isaac, please. Please stop. Stop and let the demons out. Cut my let the demons out right now. Boy, I get to rubber band between feelings like an open, compassionate, peaceful being and the wham. Notice the things you inherit from your parents. Now I'm kicking and screaming toddler again. Both sides of the same infinity, Isaac. We cannot not acknowledge both sides of ourselves, and still be grateful. Still be grateful for how much we've grown, how much we're capable, for being able to know that we went through all of these things and that we have the capacity to continue growing forward. That is the real good stuff. They're on vacation in Sock Dimension. I think Sock Dimension would be pretty lit. If I could go to Sock Dimension for a moment, I would. Yo! 111 people watching right now. I'm not surprised. I've seen 111 probably 15 times in the last 5 days or something. It's pretty surreal. Thank you for sharing another synchronicity with me. Morning, bud. Loving share. Thank you for that. I'm so sorry for missing that information of the important transition in your life. It's okay, Eden. Now you know, friend. And I'm happy to tell you, making you repeat it once again. No, no, no. You are just loved, Eden. I'm more than happy to tell you. How excited for you, I hope. Yeah, I'm very excited. So excited. Like, me and Christian have the best of times. I'll be able to hang out with Johan as well. He's probably like on his way right now. I don't know if he'll be here during the stream, but hopefully soon. Just popped in for a minute and hope you have a wonderful day. Just remember that love is true. I will if you do too. Thank you so much. Molly, love to you. Infinite cognition. What are you drinking, my brother? Liquid LSD, friend. I buy it in like 2 liter bottles. But I'm joking. I'm joking, Fred. I maybe shouldn't make jokes like that because people might actually take me seriously. It's water, Fred. It's just water. Water is the best stuff that you can give yourself when it comes to hydration. Just drink water. You don't need anything else than water. Please drink some water today. I feel like I shouldn't be saying it, or I shouldn't ask, but if you don't drink water, please. Big mushroom vibes. Thank you for joining us, Sherby. Thank you for the wholesome as well, my friend. I appreciate that. I swear I haven't missed that many streams, but it's hard to give full attention if Marley's awake. No, Eden, you are loved, friend. You really don't have to, apologize or feel bad about anything. Like you asking is how you get the information. It's when we feel so separate that we cannot even ask. That is when the disconnect truly happens. You aren't separate. You ask, and here we are having the conversation about it. Thank you for the wholesale again, friend. You was a good mom as that she is. That was deep, man. I really appreciate that statement. Thank you, Infinite Cognition. It's you, friend. I'm just making sounds. Word, and you, meaning, in your brain. You are the meaning, right? On the most fundamental of levels. I'm just doing my job. I recently heard of a woman who hadn't drank water in 5 years. 5 years of no water drinking, and I'm guessing like there it's just like sodas or coffee or oh goodness, my hands are so cold. What does she drink? She has to drink something that has water in it, right? Maybe she just ate like fruits. I can't imagine. I would I would like insta die. I drink so much water. Like it was literally the one thing that Christian complained about the most when I was at his place is that I drink so much water. And I'm like, yeah, you need to drink a lot of water. He's like, dude, one of these bottles lasts me like a week. Now I have to refill them every 2 days. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, drink the water. I hydrate with water like crazy. It's mind-boggling to think of people who don't drink water. Your brain likes the water as well. Like that's the big thing. Uh, why did she hydrate? Oh gosh, I didn't want to imagine. What? Yeah, like I'm trying to think as well. But I'm like tripping out. And I think sports drinks. Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, coffee and soda and sports drinks. It has water in it. But like sugar, the biggest thing of sugar isn't even the fact that it, spikes your insulin and contributes a lot to weight gain. The biggest thing is what it does to your red blood cells. It creates like inflammation, almost like a rough texture on your red blood cells, making them less capable of latching onto oxygen molecules and then transporting that oxygen throughout your body. So the biggest thing with the excessive consumption of sugar isn't so much fat, but not being able to breathe properly. Your entire body not getting enough oxygen. That is the real trip. I miss my Bulgarian friend, manifesting the four of us hanging out. Now that would be vibes. Isaac, maybe sooner than we know. Maybe within the next 2 years, I can see it happening. Probably drink on average around 100 ounces a day. I don't know how much that is. For me, I drink about 2/3 of a gallon a day. On a good day, 2/3 of a gallon, I think. Mm, damn, that's what's up, Shannon. Thank you for the love and the encouragement. Who needs tears? And I don't drink enough water. My skin is not a happy camper. Mine as well. My skin, but the first thing that I notice is my brain. My head starts to hurt. And before I even think about drinking any medication, I just drink a lot of water. And then it goes away. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Maybe, maybe I should drink enough water. Oh goodness, we went on a hike, and inside of my little sister's ex. What? And incited my little ex on a few years ago. She was definitely not physically ready to go on a walk outside. And she's dying on the guard, breathing heavy, all flushed and going all of the good things, having space, cool rack, shade. And then I give her water and she says, I don't drink water. Do you have any cook? I don't drink water. I don't think I've ever heard those words in my entire existence. I'm trying to imagine someone saying that to me. Part of me wants to slap them. Like, oh goodness, they're delirious. It's like, let's try this again. Would you like some water? Yes, please. Oh, thank goodness. They're okay. Water is BFF. Water for the win. Mm. She's exploiting water is bay. She's exploring, sitting and crawling right now. Needs 6 sets of eyes. So absolutely, thank you for being so careful with her. Oh goodness, my angel. I know notification. I know why I get a now I get a notification. 47 minutes into the stream. Well, here you are, Monaro. Thank you. Unfortunately, the Reddit notification system can be a little bit of a spice machine, but you're here now, friend, and I appreciate you for showing up. I usually get them when the stream is done. Me too, actually. That is what happened to me with the shenanigans from Mrs. Boob yesterday. I'm sorry about that. My son is smiling so wide after hearing and reading the birthday wishes from everyone. He deserves all of the love in the world. Thank you, Isaac, for allowing that moment for him. At least Mel streams at the same time every day, so it's harder to miss. That does help, Eden. It like creates at least a little bit of a groove where technically your biology will start knowing when it is I'm streaming eventually. It's like the whole dinner thing, or like if we're eating with our minds, your mind might start getting hungry around the same time. No, Isaac. And I've died witnessing this, and then her saying no water. Peeps in the sink. Damn, girl, you do not get shit. What? I was trying my best to be compassionate. I carried her on my back of it. It was hard dealing with someone stubborn enough to induce heat stroke instead of drinking down water. I was no, dude. I would not carry her. You know, if someone refuses to drink water and then expects me to carry them up a mountain, I'd be like, you know, I love you. I really do. But I love you enough to not take your bullshit. You know? Like this whole thing, you're gonna die. You're gonna die if you cannot grow, if you cannot become yourself, take care of yourself, you're gonna die. I'm sorry to say it. You have to start living right now. Weeping inside hearing this. I'm like the part of myself that is like extreme tough love is like kicking in, Shannon. I'm the same as Melt. Getting a hydration headache is not fun, and lots of people always tell me to take something for it, but water always does the trick. Same with these tears. It's always water, and it works. You know, it works because that's what your body needs. That's what your body needs to solve its own problems as well. If you had a headache, and even if it's not a hydration, you know, problem, giving yourself water is the one thing your body will, in fact, need to take care of that headache. Believe it or not. And all of the water your body doesn't want, you can go to the bathroom and give it back to planet Earth. You know, so it's like you can overdo drinking of water, but even if you try to, you're probably unlikely to. I'm very, very sensitive to the heat and I've gotten sick from it. The heat is that with my awareness of my body, or my desire to hydrate. Can't imagine being the opposite. I had the same slapper, Jamel. So I'm glad I can share this with people to get the love of water through. Yeah, dude, I feel it. I feel like I cannot imagine living like that. Like I honestly, can you like try for a moment imagining in your world, like you walk throughout existence, and then you're thirsty, and then there's like glasses, and there's like this beautiful water fountain, you know, that you can get water out of, and then there's like a plastic box with ice in it, with these canned capsules of sugar water and caffeine and carbonation, and you're like, yeah. 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna drink the carbonated sugar water can. Oh goodness, no, please, please, water, please drink some. Hydra lovers unite. Woo! Hydra homies. Suddenly we have our niche. You know that's what will truly unite. Have you ever used DMT? Yes, I have. Ian Arl, I have, friend. Thank you for asking. Are you curious about any of it? Have you? I got into the stream and texted, I'm glad I caught your stream, then realized it was offline, lol. Renaro, well, you're here now, friend. Fortunately, you actually got us live. If it wasn't for love, it would be for nothing at all. And it is, Uncle Beckers. Thank you for joining us with the bear. It's so nice to have you here. About much today. Thank you. I'm preparing all my questions and such now. Hmm, one isn't too far away. I always get so nervous before interviews. You got this, Fash. Mr. Joel. So much love to you with the bear. You know what? I'd send you some good vibes. I'm seeing a mushroom, but it's like almost like translucent on the outside with like a it's translucent, but it has like a dark look to it. Like both being the outside of the space because it's like it finds itself in blackness, but almost like with a purple tint to it. And then on the inside of this translucent layer is like this beautiful blue, and it kind of like comes up and then it disappears, and then above it is like this big blue mushroom cap. And then the gills you can kind of see in the back of them are like these normal looking gills, except they have like a lot more space between them than normal gills would, and they have like interruptions, almost like this code caught within the little gills. Sending you love, Joel. All of the vibes coming your way right now. Have you seen the Owl House from Disney? I can't say that I have. Thank you for asking though, Fizzy Max. Is it good? It's a cute show. I'm guessing it is, especially if Infamous Sock thinks so. I doubt my dad has drank a glass of water in a decade. It's always coffee or something else, and unfortunately, When he goes to the doctor, they tell him he's in perfect health, which only encourages him. They don't know what he does out of the doctor's office. I mean, technically, he is still receiving water molecules, so there is that, but you can just give your body the water molecules, directly. You don't have to take a bunch of steps before you do that. Reminds me of the movie Idiocracy. Oh goodness, that was a hilarious one. That drives me crazy. Oh problem. Here, take a pill for that. I couldn't possibly do anything so simple and natural. Exactly. It reminds me of that as well, Mariah. Idiocracy was this movie where only the people that had no ambition for future development. I don't know how to say this without sounding like an asshole. The movie is pretty spicy. And then those people were the ones very likely to have kids, but the people that were like geniuses and world changers, the people that were going to solve, cancer as a problem, they were more conservative and waited longer and longer, instead focusing on their careers instead of having kids. So the entire population of humanity became skewed towards less intelligent beings. And it's called Idiocracy as a movie, and this dude gets frozen, and then he finds himself in this idiocracy, and like they don't know how to water their plants anymore, and they give their plants Gatorade, literally, like they literally have Gatorade irrigation for their plants. And then he tells them to give it water instead, and they're like, water, like from the toilet. So in their world, the only place where you receive water is when it's in the toilet, like that's their entire existence. It was such I mean, that movie was a pretty hard hitting one, actually. It like addressed a bunch of stuff. Oh, she fell apart of the mile and she could just walk back out. Goodness. Right, it's bizarre. Humans are out of touch with their bodies. We are, but I feel that is changing more so than ever. We'll know more about our bodies in this age than we have known about our bodies ever before, probably in the history of humanity. I think so. Maybe when it comes to our actual biology, not so much our energy bodies, but I think when it comes to our biology, this might be the round where we know the most. So it's going to be a cool transformation to see how we actually adjust to this new information. Well, sadly, I feel it correlates that with time spent on things that TikTok for her. The poor girl lives, and I'd guess 96 in her mental realm on the internet. Yeah? And that's a lot of people right now, which isn't inherently bad, but what she looks at is just disconnecting from humanity. That is the problem indeed. Dude, I forgot to drink water for a few hours and the absolute dishonor. I feel it's crippling me. So I could not turn to colorful fluids instead. I mean, the colorful fluids have a place as well. They should just not incorporate or encapsulate the entirety of the consumption of it, right? Like, I feel sodas or juices make up maybe 7% at most of the things I drink. The rest is water. And I feel maybe that like is a good ratio. Maybe like 20/80 should be the highest the ratio goes. Like 20% of the stuff you drink, not water, 80% water. Yeah, Isaac, it's hard when you're not used to the outside world. I do feel bad for the young ones who've spent most of their formative years being raised by things like TikTok. It's out of the order of generations to make sure to be educated. Yeah, it's a whole different existence. Eating a bomb as a curry, red lentils. Eating a bomb as curry, I'm guessing. Red lentils made with onion and green beans blended to a puree, topped with a gram of masala mixture with zucchini, Hungarian sausage, carrots, and garlic. Mm. Hot diggity damn, that sounds amazing, Isaac. I hope that meal serves you well. I hope every little molecule, encodes in your being and makes you even more powerful than you already are. My personal favorite is the watered down whatever juice, save money and stay hydrated. Yeah, that works as well, and that's actually something I do as well. Where what if I'm drinking juice, I'll put like half juice, half water, and I drink from like a 100 ml cup instead of drinking from a big glass, and it's like an experience actually. I have a friend who's about a decade younger than me. First time she went to Burning Man, where I met her, it was the first time doing a lot of walking. She was 21 that year. Walking was so hard. was kind and loving, but it made it clear that we are not going to put up with complaining about walking. Seriously, she hated it. It was like, walking sucks. I'm like, yeah, complaining about it doesn't make it easier. Keep walking. Thank you for the laugh. 6 years later, she's an avid hiker. There we go. There we go. She pushed through. You can too. Thank you for sharing that story. Who needs tears? I doubt my dad. Thank you again. So like in a way, excuse me, Fizzy. How dareth they? I told him I'm about to go to the next physical and tattle on him. He's gonna stop encouraging him. I told him I'm going. Thank you, Eden. Like get him to like swap over to water, even for a little bit. You know, like 20% as a start for his day's water intake would be a big change. I used to spend more time trying to combat my anxiety instead of using it as a more efficient way. I know it's hard, but I believe we worry for a reason. I will allow you to believe that, Monty. uh, I think we can worry for a reason. I think worry can be used for good, but again, not bad balance. There has to be balance. You know, like I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying. I was just thinking about your interview. I'm sure you're surprised and delighted them with all of your answers. Thank you for that encouragement as well, friend. Hey, Sergeant Thunder. Thank you for the wholesome. It's nice seeing you here again, friend. I drink 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight. I can tell if I haven't. I don't know how much an ounce is, unfortunately. No, 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 no. I mean, some colorful juices are cool, but if you have proven cancer causing diseases causing chemicals and 200% of the sugar needed, it be considered a crime against humanity. I mean, the fact that we serve it to our kids, sodas. I genuinely believe the future we're moving into, sodas are going to be age restricted to 18 years and older as well. And we're going to be in the same way making fun of our older selves for allowing kids to buy soda at the store. Like it's straight up terrifying what it does to us. I used to hate the idea of anyone making me move. Stubborn kid, now I'm doing daily stretches and super active. Never would have seen myself in this way. And how do you feel for that, Siobhan? That's the real thing that I'm curious about. Like, do you feel better now? Do you feel you have a sense of power now that you might have had when you were that age as well? Or was like reversed? You're 100% correct. That's the point of my story. I didn't connect it back. No, thank you, Hooney's Tears. Thanks for the passive support and encouragement, friends. You being used has helped me to do this. As you help us to do this, Jovan, you have been so present with me, and I've told you this before, but I thank you for being here in this moment with us. This is awesome. Frere, so proud of you for pushing through, friend. Thank you, Isaac, for doing the same. I know you do. Jovan, I think about you many times throughout my weeks. Like for me, it's like a daily thing. Every single time I see the number 34, I send love. When I need motivation, inspiration, or joy, put it together, dear friend. Huh, Jovan? Layers. Not only me, but multiple other people as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, friend. Waffle Maker, for joining us as well. It's a pleasure having you here. Love to you. I've been drinking more sparkling water than plain water lately. It's a no sweet brand. That's also good. Carbonated normal water is also fine. Please, it's mostly water. Gotta run. Love you all. Thank you, Chris. Well, for joining us live, friend. It was a pleasure having you in this space. I can't even compare the way I feel now to back then. A whole different person, right? It's a certain empowerment. Not only do you feel powerful for being able to put yourself through that exercise routine, but then you just feel powerful throughout your day as well. As a result, you guys are freaking precious. No, no, you. No freaking you. No, no, you, Javan. You're so loved. The guys are making me thirsty. Drink some water. I need to actually go to the bathroom soon. Northern Lola. Thank you for joining us, friend. It's a pleasure having you here. Are you talking about Owl House? No, I'm not, friend. I don't know Owl House, unfortunately. No water for 3 days. Things tend to look quite strangely fine. Have you not drank in water for 3 days? Realistic Froyo. Things will be fine. Your body can adjust. Ugh, your body will adjust. But the question is, do you want your body to adjust to something that is inherently not the way that it was made to function, and you have the option to do the one thing that it requires of you. I'm joking. You're loved, friend. You know, we can do whatever we want to. Fortunately, like, within the infinite universe, right? Like, there is probably a being that have never drank a drop of like just water in its existence, right? Like, we can imagine that, and that is its experience. It like drank milk, and then it drank some sort of sap from a tree, and that sap had like some sugar in it, and then that was its existence. So it never had to drink any normal water. And you can live that existence if you want to, but our bodies don't necessarily thrive on that. Asking yourself how long you want to be here, might help to encourage you. I'm gonna be back in a second. Gonna go and give water back to reality. Gonna go and give water back to my family. Gonna give water back. Gonna give it some. I'm gonna keep drying my hands and then probably go and get myself a blanket because it's getting a little chilly. So I'll be back in a second again. What's incredible is realizing the potential is in us, that we're the same person as we were at our lowest and highest, and we get to decide. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you, friends, for knowing that truth, for knowing that you are the one in power. I think about all of you throughout the day, every day. Shannon, we feel it. We appreciate you for doing that work. Whew! For some reason, I decided to run with Pippi. I wrecked myself a little bit. My Jazzy loves Olipop, which is a probiotic buddy soda replacement that's much more natural and delicious. Not so sweet, but taking flavor from different roots and stuff. Probiotic bubbly soda replacement. The world we live in. The world we live in, Shannon. So much love. Give me strength, friends. Back on my workout train today with some crazy new calisthenics. Also, starting to start my tea break today. Feeling good now, but later I'm gonna be tempted. You will surely be tempted. And you will surely have the power to decide whichever reality you want, Brother Babe. You got this. You got this. So much love. Thank you for the blessings that you have sent our way as well, Shannon. Genuinely, I know you guys are in my mind as well. So often, I have little hooks that remind me of you daily. I I can't stress enough how I feel seeing these parts of ourselves, seeing one another in that way. It's that filling of time, instead of feeling alone throughout your day, you can be reminded of someone you have in your life, and that can bring this whole experience alongside with it. A reminder that you're not alone. You really are not alone. Genuinely, what a family we have. You all have helped me so far. So fall so deeply in love with this universe. You as the universe, Isaac. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Like that. That, Isaac. That is exactly what we're here to do. I'm here to proclaim my love for the universe. And hopefully, in doing so, you fall in love with the universe as much as I have fallen in love with the universe. We can love the universe together, love ourselves as the universe together, similar to kombucha. It sounds like it at least. Well said, Melty. Mariah, it's your heart, friend. It's your heart resonating. Reading that made me smile. So much love. Thank you. Thank you so much. The love, my friend. Our dietitian. Literally what's happening in the US these days, sadly. It's a trip, Naro boy. Our dietitian told us to give a fruit cup very limited processed sugar, but not none at all. As studies show, limited processed sugar will bring about healthier children who won't seek it out when older or overindulge versus none at all or too much. I agree completely with that, actually, Eden. Like the current studies are with excessive consumption, to the point where you raise the blood sugar level of your blood, of your body. That's not what we want. But limited amounts of sugar, in moderation, that is okay. So thank you for allowing us to, share that information as well. The same thing goes for our bodies, by the way. It's not about bad, it's about balance. But the balance usually lies in 20% sugar, 80% whole foods, if you're going to be indulging. I watered Emma's juice down for a long time, and we did very limited sugar or no added sugar for years. I can tell a difference between her and Miles and their appetite and behavior. It's interesting to notice things like that, I can imagine. Because you get to see your genetics and how it reacts to your teaching. It's pretty trippy. Having kids good as I can't even imagine. I know there's many factors in this, but believe diet has a huge impact. It does. We are what we eat. Like the very molecules we put into our body, even the air we're breathing right now is becoming us. It is what our body uses to build ourselves out of. Our DNA is what an instruction set. That instruction set has an objective. What we put into our bodies, it's going to use to accomplish that objective. Your beingness, your existence. Goodness, how did I miss so many so quickly? Kind of, but they recreate soda flavors. And they're just probiotics and different root extracts, so the vinegar taste from the SCOBY or the fermentation probably goes away. You can look it up and find it. They're pricey, but so yummy. They probably won't be available here in South Africa, unfortunately, Isaac, but thank you, though. Oh, dang, that sounds like something I want to try. Who knows? Maybe before you know. They have flavors like root beer, classic soda, orange cream, strawberry, vanilla, and such. And such. It's such a good little treat. That sounds nice, man. Especially if you can do that instead of drinking actual soda. The high fermentation in kombucha gives me headaches. Really? Oh heck yes. Is it it's not an alcohol thing, is it? Who needs tears? Does it give you a headache while you're drinking it or afterwards? My struggle lately is really feeling pulled towards the states of being intensely high and really craving trips and getting absolutely smacked. Abnormal for me, but maybe I need to prepare. I mean, you're not the only one, Isaac. I have a bunch of friends who's in that space right now, who have been going a little bit hard, getting schmacked, as you say. And I haven't. The only things that I have said to them, instead of being like you shouldn't be doing this, I told them if you're gonna be doing this, just make sure you do it with intention, Isaac, and you know that that's my truth. Do it with intention and allow yourself time in between. right? Like if you're going to be going through trips, wait 2 weeks in between your trips. That way, not only do you have 2 weeks to integrate the experiences you've had, but also your neurons, the very little synapses, the very little connections in which these molecules bond, get to recover as well. So you're allowing yourself on two levels to actually grow properly. So just make sure you're doing it with intention. No bad balance. No bad freaking balance. Kombucha is probiotic and fizzy. It's fizzy if you do it right. It's very difficult to get it right. Like my sister actually made some kombucha as well. That is what he's talking about, kombucha. That is right. Chori loves it. I tolerate it. I I enjoy the experience of drinking it, but I don't enjoy drinking it. It's not like the way that I enjoy drinking juice, for example. It's more I understand what I'm drinking and I understand the flavor profile and I understand what it is I'm drinking. So it's a whole experience and I enjoy that experience more than I enjoy drinking it, if that makes any sense at all. Makes my tummy happy. I mean, microbiome, yo. Literally 80% of your serotonin being produced right now comes from that place as well. So tummy happy, brain happy. Get smacked. Isaac, I feel that sentiment hard. It's so weird. I don't think it's weird at all, friends. I think it's a part of us that is preparing. Like we're tuning into that frequency more and more. And it's something that's calling to us. So as long as we keep doing it with the intention of love, the intention of growth, the intention of exploration of ourselves, the intention of getting past our traumas, like then we're gonna be home free. We should just not do it to escape this reality because that's where the problems arise. Because if you try to escape this reality, you will always get dragged back down to it, and it's gonna be like an intention of like, oh, gonna get schmacked and not gonna have to think about things, and then it's like, oh yeah, oh yeah. How about you think even more about the things? And then it's like, no, please stop. Mercy, mercy. But if you choose to think about something, which you can, it can show you depth within your active choice to, you get to choose your reality, right? I'm thinking maybe it's my journey saying, hey, dude, you're probably gonna try a few psychs sometimes in the future. You better prepare. I mean, I feel that as well, Isaac. Like when I'm going through to Christian's place, I plan on, drinking some cactus juice, that we're gonna be making. So like I'm preparing mentally for that experience as well. I'm gonna probably be live streaming during it, so that's gonna be a whole thing in itself. I find myself addicted to yoga, breathing, and weed, all in one. What a trip. Mariah, that's the trip I'm in as well right now. And I feel when it comes to trips that you can be in, right? Like it could be cigarettes, alcohol, and television, right? So yoga, weed, and breathing. That sounds in ways at least better than most of the ways I've seen. So as long as you do it with that intention, if you can really smoke weed with reverence and like respect for it and respect for yourself, and then like doing yoga after having smoked weed can be a gorgeous experience. Breathing after having smoked some marijuana just in meditation can be a gorgeous experience. So we can do both as long as we do it in balance. Much, 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 much more. Like it's just about balance. Goodness, I'm preaching to myself especially hard today. Like, dude, hey, you balance, oh. Stop trying to do all of the things all of the time. Just have some balance. Have some balance. You just need some balance. Just some balance is necessary sometimes. Just some balance. Balance. Balance, balance. Balance. Thank you. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for joining us today. For sharing these moments. For being loving with us. For being grateful for the space that you are in right now. Because who knows? You might not be here tomorrow. You might have to move somewhere else. You might be moved somewhere else. Look around yourself and find things to be grateful for. Even if it's ordinary, like, oh, I'm grateful to just have this roof over me. Thank you for you. Thank you for you, Eden. Enjoy your day and take care, everybody. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing another day with me, and again, for being grateful for where you are. There's so much for us to be grateful for. And in this moment, I am grateful for you. Thank you eternally for joining me in these streams. Do give us a follow. Do give us a follow on the Haywire Hill subreddit. We'll probably be streaming here a lot. And if you're not following on Haywire Hill subreddit, you might not be getting notifications or might not be able to find these streams in the close future if you found the stream throughout the front page today. If you would like to support me in different ways, technically I can sell it as a if you would like to support yourself. Salesman cap. I make flowers every single day. I have a fascination with flowers that is only rivaled by my fascination for love. And this fascination for flowers have been guiding me towards taking pictures of them, for so long, where there was like a genuine awe and I wanted to capture that awe in a picture. And I was doing so over and over again throughout the last few, I was like 4 years now, 5 years now. And when this year started, I was encouraged by the beloved friends we have in the space to actually start a Patreon. And I couldn't imagine just being paid for existing. So I had to kind of like come up with a game plan, if you will. And the game plan we came up with is I make flowers, the things you see right now on me. I'm going to contort reality and make it a flower using one geometry. I'm thinking, should I use chaos today for making my flower? Hmm, no, I don't think I am gonna use chaos today. I think I'll use maybe chaos on number three this round around. So I use the numbers 1 to 9 to make these flowers, and on day 8 of the last 9 round, we decided embraced rather chaos for the first time, and it changed something in me. So I don't know if it can change something in you, but I'm happy to be able to share these flowers with you friends. Thank you, Jovan, for tagging the links. I appreciate that so much. Have an amazing day. Technical hair, no you friend. Puppy looking so happy in your arms. Thank you for being a good human. Thank you, Infamous Sock, for being a good human with me, friend. It's gonna take all of us. Have an amazing day, Technical hair. Toast below host. That's a pretty sunset, isn't it gorgeous? Let me show you a little bit more of it. Whew. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Like an absolute oh, an experience. Just being able to be in this moment with your friends. As Jovan beautifully said, sharing a sunset with you across the world. You will still have your sunset today. Thank you for sharing mine with me. Getting two sides in 80 books. What a crazy experience. So, like Jovan shared this feeling she had, and we did a whole stream on it about having a sense of melancholy or sense of disappointment or sadness, thinking about all of the sunsets we've missed, where there was a beautiful sunset happening, but we were just not there, not paying attention, or not active enough to actually experience and enjoy it. And instead of kind of like running with that, oh, I've lost all of these sunsets, to just look forward to the sunsets to come. And I've been thinking about things in that way a lot, Jovan. So I appreciate you so much for inspiring me in that way. For allowing me to share this moment with you, friends. Have an amazing day. The bestest Estes of Estes of days. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Have an amazing day. I love you, and I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll see you again tomorrow. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. There's a lot of YouTube comments that I seem to have missed. Love from Jovan, Who Needs Tears, and oh, the Peyote Coyote. Yeah, it's gonna be some Pedro, technically. That is some built up emotions trying to get your attention, Who Needs Tears. Over 1 year ago, Marvin stuck with me. Maybe I should read some. Cream saying my last mushroom tip did my kitty since past. I started having bad trips, some demon monster stuff going on. She nudged me and looked at me deep in the eyes. She communicated with me that I was a goddess. It was an amazing experience. And the goddesses, the most powerful beings in this universe, usually are the ones that get the most flack. The ones that have it the hardest. Who needs tears? It was an amazing experience. It's built up emotions, beautiful tears. My first mushroom experience, my cat came to me in an imagery, and absolutely pulled me out of the darkest place in my mind that I've been in the first time I understood the belief in God, right? Like without a shadow of a doubt, you have that intuition of like, oh, this is what people mean when they say God, or what they allude to. I tend to take the hard route, but if it were me, I'd slam myself into those thoughts and get the fuck out ASAP. It can be a bit intense though. Getting into those thoughts and loving them. I feel like that is the real trip, like being able to love them enough, being able to love yourself enough to forgive yourself for them as well. She pulled me out and put me right into the most beautiful space that I've ever felt. How amazing is that? I mean, I would I would want for you to explain, but that's a whole trip in of itself. Goodness, I say it's beautiful. It is Marvin. Her name is it's Mariah, technically with a weird username. It's always the moment where you start to feel the things of I have. What have I done? Remember the 5 minutes ago when I felt totally sober and normal? Why didn't I stay there? Damn it. Our critters are the best. Actual little, angels sent to us. Even Pippi is admiring the sky, and she does. Like she's looking at it right now still. She just got herself a new vantage point. Like she's so aware of the beauty that the world has. It's really like an inspiration for me if I just pay attention to her presence as well. I'm partial to a sunrise. Love you, Mel. I'm also like a big one of the sunrises, but they are even more work, even harder to miss, Mariah. So they might be even more significant in that way. Puppy is enjoying the sunset too. She is. I hope everyone has an absolutely beautiful day. I love you all so much, Mountain friends. Shannon, I see a ebony spear tip or arrow tip. So much love to you, friend. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. The colors, goodness, by the way. Cats can see in the dark. Oh, yes, they can. Well, they can see in the dark very well, in fact. It's not even a trip for them. They're just like, yeah, sick. Darkness, I can see. Hmm. Those colors, huh? To imagine. To imagine the universe making those colors. And then the universe catching those colors on a sensor, and then that sensor turning those colors into ones and zeros, and then those ones and zeros being encoded into an internet package, that package being sent onto the internet, that internet traveling underneath the ocean throughout fiber optic cables, light as ones and zeros, hitting your side of the country, being decoded into a visual medium and sound for you to see the light on the other side of the world right now. Excuse me. How trippy. How trippy the existence we're a part of is. And here we are doing it together. Thank you for doing it with me. So much love to you, friends. Have an amazing day. The bestest of S's of days. I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow, probably in a different space. Love you. Life is beautiful, as are you. Goodbye, everyone.